Hi guys, especially to our beloved lecturer Puan Hafsah. My name is Muhammad Luqmanul Hakim bin Zainal, along with my group members Muhammad Syaril bin Baharudin, Muhammad Lutfi bin Sukardi, and Muhammad Nizam Ibrahim will proudly present and explain about experiment 4 material science, which is specimen preparation and metallography of steels. So we continue to the explanation. Let's go.
First, additional theory. Metallography is a study of metal by optical and electron microscope. Macrostructure are structures that are coarse enough to be seen by the naked eyes or under low magnification. Those macrostructures are those that require a high magnification to see. A microscope is required to examine the metal microstructure. The optical microscope is used for resolutions down to roughly the wavelength of light, while electron microscope is used for detail below this level, all the way down to atomic resolution. The most commonly used microscope is the conventional light microscope. Next, the objective. First, the objective of we doing this experiment is to identify the microstructure produced from the heat treatment process. Second, to study the micro behavior and metal microstructure. Third, to learn and gain experience in preparation of metallography specimens. Fourth, to prepare the specimen surface to be examined for their microstructure studied by the microscope. Fifth, the objective is to examine and analyze the microstructure of metal and the metallic alloy. For next, apparatus. The apparatus needed in this experiment is mounting powder, hydraulic mounting press, polishing machine, mounted specimen, and microscope to see the specimen.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Syaril Baharudin. Next, I'm going to present about for the procedure part. For the first one, we have to prepare 4 different samples to be examined. Second one, the viewing of the microscope view should be adjusted into stereo microscope, which it is reveal a 3D scan of the surface of the sample. Third one, place the sample on the platform of the microscope and make sure the surface is perpendicular to the optical axis. We have to adjust the sample so that it is placed in perpendicular to the optical axis. Okay, the fourth one, observe the sample at different magnification, 100, 400, and 1000 using metallurgical microscope, and snap the picture of the microstructural aspect at the material. If the material is blurry or not clearly visible at certain magnification, we have to adjust and change the magnification so that the image can be seen more clearly. Right. Take notes of material aspect after taking the result at the best magnification. And the last one, repeat the same process with the 3 other materials so that we can gain a different type of result from different material. Okay, this is the result that we gain from our experiment. 4 of the image represent the every single sample that we undergo the experiment. Sample 1 is from specimen 1, sample 2 is from specimen 2, and sample 3 is from specimen 3, and sample 4 is the image of the fourth specimen. Okay, for the observation part, from the experiment, we can observe that 4 different types of specimen using metallurgical microscope. After the detailed briefing given by the lecturer, we started the first specimen at the magnification of 5 times. We can see the image clearly after adjusting a little bit of the brightness and the distance of the platform from the scope. As I said before, if the image is blurry and cannot be seen clearly, we have to adjust the brightness and the distance of the platform from the scope. There are many scratches at many different places. All the scratches are visible clearly for specimen 1. That is for specimen 1. The next one, we observe the specimen 2. For this specimen, we have to adjust the magnification a little bit higher into 10 times because at 5 times magnification, we cannot see it properly and it is a little bit blurry. For this specimen, there are also scratches, but not as bad as specimen 1. For specimen 3, the imperfection is visible much more clearly. There are huge black cracks at the center of the specimen, and the crystal crack or the grain-shaped crack can be seen clearly at magnification 5 times for specimen 3. And for the last one, the specimen 4, there are also clear dots and cracks that we can see clearly, even at the magnification of 2.5 times. That is all for my part. Thank you.
In the discussion part is basically a question that related to the experiment. So question 1 is why must metallographic samples have to be rinsed and carefully dried before proceed to grinding or polishing process? The answer is the sample may react with the abrasives, coolant or water that were used to prepare it. This may result in the production of oxidation or preservation layers, which may impact polishing and etching process. Next is to avoid bringing large particles to the finer grid or to remove all traces of polishing compound and oil before it's ready for examination with the metallurgical microscope. Furthermore, it can save time from removing unwanted scratches. So we proceed to the next question. Explain the purpose of etching process for metallographic process. The answer is all procedure used to reveal specific structural properties of a metal that are not visible in a properly specimen prior to etching. Indeed, image analysis via etching is the best way to evaluate some elements since etching reveals unnecessary detail and make detection difficult or impossible. The measuring of conclusion in steel and graphite in cast iron are two typical examples. Inclusion are prevalent in all metal, not just steel. In the as-polished form, many intermetallic precipitate and nitride can be accurately measured. It also removes the thin, highly deformed layer introduced during grinding and polishing. By several etching processes with various chemicals, we can know the variety of problems in the metal specimen. Okay, question number 3. Why metallographic samples are sometimes mounted in plastic? The reason is phenolic polymer or plastic used in metallography to encapsulate specimen via hot compression mounting. In other words, it's also hard to cut the sample material into the shape or sample too small. So easier to cast the sample inside plastic. Furthermore, it does not smearing on metallic surface and not clogging the abrasive paper. In addition, plastic can be recycled and more safer than using metal. Next, it can protect specimen from any damage such as pressure and heat.
What is the difference between a eutectoid steel and hypoeutectoid steel? The eutectoid steel has carbon content of alloy steels that usually low compared to hypoeutectoid steels. Hypoeutectoid steels contain both free ferrite and pearlite and lower carbon content than eutectoid steels has. What are the phases of eutectoid steel? At room temperature, a eutectoid steel's microstructure consists solely of pearlite grains. It is worth noting that no matter whether the steel is hypoeutectide or hypereutectide, the microstructure is usually made from phases ferrite and cementite. What are the constituents of eutectoid steel? At room temperature, the equilibrium microstructure of a carbon steel is pearlite, which may be a mixture of two micro-constituents called ferrite and cementite. Ferrite may be a very soft constituent of steel, while cementite may be a very hard constituent of steel. What are the phases of hypoelectric steel? The hypoelectric steel in room temperature is in equilibrium structures and are a mixture of ferro phases, and when it cooled, it turns into two phases of ferrophile. What are the constituents of hypoelectric steel? At room temperature, hypoelectric steel's equilibrium microstructure consists of ferrite and pearlite. The ferrite is understood as region 875 degree to 775 degree. When austenite reaches ectotoid composition, it goldium microstructures composed of proectotoid, ferrite and pearlite. As a conclusion for this experiment, metallography is a vital aspect of physics because it allows us to infer the material's type and physical quantities from its microstructure using optical or microscopy. Metallography also important because it can determine what materials are suitable for creating things and construct things such as bridge construction or manufacture of automobiles or motorbikes. Thank you.